But now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then, climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis' haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 35, then Tuesday, a chance of rain with a high of 50. Step into Forts at Children's Theater Company. It's a fort-building wonderland where theatrical elements, evolving light and soundscapes, and towering towers of cardboard boxes set the scene for shared creative play. Forts, now through April 5th at Children's Theater Company. Tickets at childrenstheater.org.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining us on this Monday evening, this unseasonably warm Monday evening. How wonderful. I mean, I know, and I keep saying this, don't get too excited. Don't get too, used to this, because it is February 16th. And that's just something to keep in mind with how nice it is outside, that it's February 16th. There's plenty of time for snow and blizzards and cold temperatures, but nothing wrong with enjoying it while we have the opportunity. And I hope you did. And I hope you spent the weekend enjoying it, because there is nothing like that spring feeling, isn't there? I mean, it's just being able to have fun and go outside and maybe not have a jacket on, wear shorts. Well, I always wear shorts, but the usual, right? In the comments, Nancy, like, it will end. Well, thanks, harbinger of doom. But you are right. You are absolutely right about that. Now, I wanna have a conversation tonight. It is one of my favorites because, we put ourselves into silos, don't we? When it comes to the things that we do in this field of what we call, what we're calling paranormal. We silo ourselves quite a bit, and within the silo, we sometimes silo ourselves as well. We've had the conversation before. We talk about the metaphysical, what the metaphysical is, what paranormal is. And for some reason, and I've noticed this from the time that I got into this field, that there is a gap. My guest tonight noticed this very well, much more so than I do. And it's something that we are going to be talking about tonight. My guest tonight, and I'm always happy to have her on, is Miss Char Savoie. You may have heard Char on such other radio programs as this one, where we talk about all things, and we do a lot of events together and classes and stuff. And we're going to be talking a little bit later in the hour about a big event that she has coming up this weekend, the Charvinity and Maria Shaw's Mardi Gras Fair, which is February 21st and 22nd from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days at the Doubletree by Hilton. We're going to be talking about that and talking about how awesome that's going to be. And you need to come on out and check it out. And so don't worry, we'll be talking about that as well as some other things we have going on. But we are going to be talking about metaphysical as well. And Char, welcome to GhostBox Radio.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks again for having me on. I always love to be here.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you very much for coming on. And, folks, I want to ask you all a question, too, which you feel free to put into the comments. Do you think, a couple things, do you think that there is a gap between the metaphysical and the paranormal? Do you think that there are no wrong answers? Or do you think that there is like those two identities, to put a lack of a better word to it, if they're moving closer together, bridging that gap? That is something that we want to talk about throughout the show. And, first of all, let's just start with this, Char. We talk about this often. Char, is there a gap? Is there a difference between paranormal and metaphysical in your opinion?
Absolutely not. It's all one. I think we just put labels on things, and I think the labels come from fear, understanding, not understanding, what people want to know or don't want to know, or stigmas. Bottom line is it's all energy. It's all energy, and energy goes everywhere. Whether you're in the paranormal or the metaphysical or in neither one of them, you're still energy. It exists no matter what you want to call it. So it's just how you're labeling it, basically.
And that was kind of what I was getting at too, that you can have a silo and silos within that silos. And that was the thing that I had learned a few years ago when we, talk about paranormal and people. And I was one of those people for sure that thought, you have ghosts, you have aliens, you have, Sasquatches, you have whatever. Those are different things, and those require different ways to communicate. But I personally have found over the last 3 years that to not be the case at all. Right. Right.
It kind of baffles me, I think, because I started in the paranormal. And so you kind of got used to like how that works, the mechanics of it, what people call things. And then I transitioned into the metaphysical, and I'm like, oh, this is just the same thing. It's just looking at it differently or doing it differently. And then how the rules and the way people think it and the way they want to work with it is completely different. I'm like, well, why did you change that? Like, it never made sense to me why we were changing the rules of energy. Energy is energy. Like, is there rules to energy? I mean, it just is, right? You can't make it be something because you want it to be something else.
How much, and I never really thought about this until just now, and maybe you've given it a lot of thought for all I know. When it comes to paranormal, like, metaphysical, we think of metaphysical as energy. Paranormal tends to have, lack of a better word, some science that some investigators put towards it. That there are people who are trying to, gauge and take metrics and do some what they're considering research. And I'm trying to say this in a way that's not making fun of it, because I understand that that's why some people are into it. Mm-hmm. What we do when we're including energy in it, I think that we see it differently, where we're not working to a possible scientific sort of scrutiny. Do you think that has something to do with why there's still that gap?
Possibly. I think that's funny. I think that's interesting the way you brought that up. And I guess maybe I've thought about it, maybe not quite like the way you said, but if you want to bring science into it, then why isn't somebody sitting in my room when I'm talking to grandma for somebody gauging out my energy field or grandma's energy field while I'm doing it? They're not. They just accept that it's there and that it's happening. but yet somehow we go to a house and we have to scientifically prove that it's there. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, here's the thing. It's like I could go upstairs and fry some eggs and be fine with it, or I could get out some equipment and do science behind the egg of why the shell is the way the shell is and why the yolk is the way the yolk is, and measure it out. And like I could put science into anything I wanted to into the world and make it scientific. It doesn't make it any difference.
But I do think that you are possibly putting out there the crux of all this, and the reason, and I think the reason why you don't have the scientist in the room while trying to gauge the energy of your trying to read someone's grandma is that I don't think they believe in that to begin with.
Right. Yeah. That's basically what it is. The science, if you can prove something, then we can believe in it. Well, what if we just believed in it? I mean, the bottom line is, and I've seen this 1,000 times said this way, your phone sends out radio signals that you don't see, waves all the time, your TV, all your electronics, it just happens. It's there. You don't even stop to think about believing in the energy waves that are coming in and out of your electronics. You just believe that it happens and it works. And when it doesn't work, then you're upset. But, it's like, but why can't energy just flow naturally to a human and you connect to it and you receive it, you give the message? Why does it have to be proven? I mean, why do I scientifically have to prove it?
Well, and I've been saying that for years as well, especially when I was doing the Spirit Box sessions on Facebook. If the person receiving the message is happy with it and they feel like that connection happened, why would I say, well, I don't actually know if I actually did connect to them. So, right. your emotion over this is wrong. And that's that. You can't do that. You shouldn't do that.
Right. And I'm not saying science is wrong or you shouldn't do it, but
science is bad. Nope, we can't do it. We gotta ban science, Char. That's what it is.
No. But I mean, you can do all the things you want to do. Like I remember when we first started off doing tarot, it was like, oh, what's the barometric pressure? What's the moon sign? What's the weather? What's this? Like, did it really make a difference? Did it really change anything? I don't know. I don't think so. But again, it's like I'm not going to badmouth anybody that wants to do the science. Do the science. Maybe there is something behind the science. Maybe we'll figure it out someday. But how do you quantify and measure something that doesn't really have anything you can measure?
And I think those are good points. And I think, I can understand why people want to check like the barometric pressure, the temperature. I think they're looking for, is there something that happens that we can start, applying to, well, this must mean that we're going to get some kind of a manifestation or some kind of situation happening, because they're looking for that where we're not really, that's not really what we do anymore. But that's just it too. And you're right. I mean, I understand, and I actually appreciate people who want to take that and do those sort of things. Stacy in the comments says, having a science background, I totally agree with you. I can separate science and paranormal. I believe in both. And I'd be curious to know, though, what's that cutoff? What is it that, if as Stacy, if you're doing something, if you're interested in paranormal, where is it that you really want to have more of the scientific aspect to it? And where is it that you are fine with the metaphysical aspect to it? You know what I mean? I once again, there's no wrong answers. I'm just curious what the thresholds are for each individual.
Right. And here's the thing too, is like, then people want to, and I'll go down my own little woo-woo path, like I always say, people want to say astrology is nothing. It's just like, hokey or whatever. But basically astrology is just patterns. It's patterns of energy that collide. Each zodiac sign has a certain energy to it. Each planet has a certain energy to it. And when they oppose each other or they trine each other or whatever, it creates an energy. Just like in science, when you add certain ingredients together, you get certain reactions out of them, right? So it's the same thing. And these are repeated patterns. And these are things that are documented over and over and over again. And we can say the last time that this planet was in this sign, this type of energy gets formed. And we see repeated patterns. We see things that keep happening over and over and over again, maybe not in the exact same capacity. Therefore, astrology would be science because it's provable that these patterns repeat, right? So yes, science can come in and prove a repeated pattern, but in the paranormal, it's unpredictable. There's nothing that really repeats itself unless it's a residual thing that keeps happening. But there's no repeated pattern. There's nothing that you can quantify. There's nothing that you can measure. Yes, you can do EMF readings. You can do all these other things. But can you actually go into a location at 10 o'clock every night and get the exact same results over and over and over with equipment? Probably not.
No. Now, Leanne in the comments says it happens for a reason, scientifically or not. It still happens, and Leanne is part of King Sister Paranormal out of Rochester. Leanne, I'd be interested to know: does science play any part in your investigations, or more so, what do you think that? Where do you think equipment? Where does that fit into the investigation? Because you use equipment, I use equipment. Where does that fit in terms of, is it therefore a scientific reason or a validation reason, or can it be both? Bruce also says they are looking for any possible consistencies. And I think he's talking about with getting, and I still think, and we do this, and it turned out, we did an investigation. It was, can you believe it's just about a year ago, where we did do the sweeps, we did do the, everything. And it turned out that it is good that we did that, because there wasn't anything paranormal going on there. It was the way the house was wired.
Right. Exactly. And that was probably the most consistent equipment responses we got, because there was an actual reason for it happening that was tangible. It was electricity. It was the wiring in the house.
It was very interesting. Let's see here. Stacy says, for me, I like to experience the paranormal through equipment. So like a ghost box or a REM pod is enough science to prove to me that something paranormal is happening. In the next segment, I do want to touch on debunking a little bit and skepticism. Let's see here. Jennifer says, my goodness. She says, I think some people need that scientific explanation behind the metaphysical and paranormal, while others just believe. I think that's a fantastic point. Some holds true for those who believe in God. Some want an explanation of proof that God exists, whereas some just believe and have faith. And I've always said this, and I don't know what your thoughts on it. Paranormal is a bit like having faith. I mean, I see it that way. That doesn't, I want to be very clear, doesn't mean that that's for every investigator, but I do think because of how you and I investigate, or it's not even investigating, it's communication, first of all. Right. I think we could take the word investigation out completely. I think our communication we don't start from a place of we want to see if spirit and ghosts exist. We want to communicate and cut to the chase and find out what they need. Right.
Yeah. I'm to the point where I don't need to prove that they're there. I already know that they're there. Yeah. I just want to know, do they want to talk? Do they need help or whatever else? It's like, I don't need to collect evidence. I don't need to do any of that. I know it exists, and that's just me. That's me. And I guess I'm probably going to say something very controversial here. Yes, having faith, you have to have faith in anything you do, or otherwise, why are you doing it? Right. Yep. And, and I don't know, possibly I'm going to speak out of character. Maybe this has been done, but have we scientifically proved that God exists?
Oh, no, I don't think so at all.
Right. So,
at all.
If everybody can believe in that, then why can't I believe in a ghost?
Well, and also, I mean, let's do this, because I need to get a break in here. Let's take our first break. When we come back, I want to continue this conversation. I see people putting stuff in the comments. Please don't stop doing it. This is great. It's a great conversation. We're going to talk about some of the stuff we have coming up and Char has coming up. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. I've been talking for a while about how spooky, fun, and fascinating the Minneapolis trolley tours are. But now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then, climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis' haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville. Greg Bakun here. It's nice to get out of the Twin Cities and take some travel excursion to some great locations. Minnesota has so much to offer, which is why I love traveling down to Wabasha and staying at the historic Anderson House Hotel. Opened in 1856, this beautiful hotel offers comfortable accommodations, has a delicious restaurant, and even a speakeasy in the basement to unwind with a drink. Located next to the Mississippi River and on Main Street, there is a lot of sightseeing and shopping to do too. To get more information, go to theandersonhousehotel.com. So Saturday was pretty special for me as I went to Maverick's Real Roast Beef and I had a sandwich, and I could have had two, and boy was it was hopping in there on Saturday. That was really nice to see. Got to talk to Tim, who owns the place, very briefly because he's working. He's making stuff happen, but it was really good, really nice. And my friend Robert, he got the Philly steak. I just can't get anything other than the roast beef sandwich. I love it so much. I want to hug it, and I did, and then I ate it. But it was so good, and you got to get out there. You got to get out there. If I really wish that it was open right now because I'm so hungry. I'd go out there and get it. And also the trolley folks, we had a spot for them that we played tonight. Please make sure that you go out there and get your Candlelight Ghost Tour on. It's especially like nights like tonight, this week. See when they're doing them. It's so good out there, and we just had the opportunity to see them and check in with them, and stopped in the Pillsbury Club. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Wouldn't you say, Char?
Oh my God, it's so, I don't even know. You walk in, you just feel like you've stepped into a whole nother time zone, or not a time zone. I don't know. A different time era. There's what I wanted to say.
I think so. I think you're right. Absolutely. And we check in with them time to time. We had a meeting out there with them, and I just thought to myself, we have a meeting today, and here we are in this absolutely stunning wood paneled room, this massive fireplace, the chandelier. It's a mansion, right? And
yeah,
this is what we're calling Monday afternoon.
I know.
And it was fantastic. So folks, there's so many reasons to go out there because it's so beautiful. You got to check out the space. The trolley tours themselves are great. And John was commenting to us today, the investigation that we all did, and we were over at the Oakland, one of the stops, and it was very rare for us to be able to investigate one of the stops, and we were able to do so. And he commented how it was kind of fun watching, because we were in different parts of the room, but he was in the first floor, but he was kind of watching both of us, and he was saying how much fun it was to watch us investigate.
Yeah, that was a great time. That was a great location. Oh my gosh.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So, yeah, you got to get out there, and it's full season coming up. And once again, they do more than just the Candlelight Ghost tours. They have so many tours going on. You just got to check it out. Yeah. Speaking of stuff to do, I don't care if you have stuff going on this weekend, you got to cancel it. And that's because you need to come out Saturday and Sunday, February 21st and 22nd, the Charvinity and Maria Shaw's Mardi Gras Fair, which Mardi Gras is going on in New Orleans right now. So you're gonna kind of try to get a little bit of that magic up at the fair this weekend over at the Doubletree by Hilton, and that's located 2020 American Boulevard, East Bloomington. Tell us a little bit about what to expect out there, please.
Oh my gosh, this is like one of my favorite things to do. So it's a full weekend of everything. We have 21 practitioners that'll be there, all kinds of readers, healers. We've got classes going on 9 a.m. sharp on Saturday. Be there because we do the practitioner meet and greet that Greg kind of MCs for me. We will be giving away 20 grab bags for the first 20 people into that. So you have to come in there to get your grab bag. And on top of that, all the practitioners will be in there. And we'll do a drawing, and each practitioner will draw somebody's name that's in attendance, and they're going to get like a special to be at the fair, like a free service or half off a service or something like that. So it's always really, really good to come right away Saturday morning for that. Maria's got her classes going on, her famous crossing over gallery on Sunday morning. I'm going to be teaching 2 classes this time, which I'm super excited about. So on Saturday at 3:15, I'm going to teach scrying with crystal ball. So come learn how to like use a crystal ball, how to do readings, tap into your intuition. And then I think Maria's going to offer a special offer on the actual crystal balls that you're going to use. So she's bringing a whole bunch of those in for that class. And then on Sunday at the same time, 3:15, I'm doing the Destiny Swap class. And this is about reclaiming your destiny and your energy and about coming back. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. I always hear that stuff. Did you just cough?
No, that wasn't me. It happened when I was. No, it wasn't me.
Did you hear the cough though?
I did.
Okay. Anyone else hear the cough? Because like, which wasn't me this time.
So, anyways, come on Sunday for the Destiny Swap class. This is about reclaiming your destiny. We'll do a meditation. It's a really powerful class. It's really good. Also, Sunday morning we have scratch off game cards for a special Mardi Gras package. So all kinds of great stuff. We're kind of switching it up this time. We're doing a lot more drawings, a lot more fun, just all kinds of stuff. But Maria's got brand new all crystals from the Tucson Gem Show. I mean, there's so much going on. You have to come out. You have to do it both days.
And it's always such good energy there.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. It's
Absolutely.
a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And I'll actually be doing services this time. So I'll be out there doing readings and healing. So come see me and get some energy healing or a reading and have some fun with us.
Yeah, come on out, please. It's good. And I've been saying this a lot lately to the stuff that we're doing. You got to support the local fairs. You got to support the local businesses, because if you're one of those people who are like, I'll do next time. I understand. We all have complicated lives, but people don't do it, those things start to disappear. Not saying that you're going to disappear, Char, but I don't have a crystal ball. But the thing is, it's like, you just got to support it. Because I see Leanne in the comments. She said they spent the weekend at the Anderson house. I saw the picture of you all, and I think it's the first time I ever seen a picture of Jim without a hat on. So I didn't know who that was. I didn't know who you're with. Did you see that picture?
Yeah, it was true. I didn't even notice he didn't have a hat on. And
a button-down shirt.
I know. So spiffy.
Who are you? But that's the point. Is like they went and they supported a local haunt. Yes. So that's important to do. Now, we also have a class that's going to start up, which is always awesome, isn't it?
Oh, I'm so excited. This is like one of my favorite things to do. So we're teaching our paranormal dimensions and the supernatural class starting on the first Tuesday in February. No, for March. oh my gosh, in March. And it goes for 6 weeks, and we go through everything you want to know. And this comes from experience of what we learned, what we wish we would have known when we started. We have like close to 30 years experience doing this together. And so we're going to teach you everything from developing your intuition. We're going to talk about cryptids. We're going to talk about demonology. We're going to talk about how to use the equipment. I mean, everything. So it's a lot of fun. It's great. We've had many, many people take the class. And then when you're all done, we take you on an investigation. So that's really fun. And then you get to be a part of this amazing group of people that every time we go back and do something else, you get invited back again.
Once you're in, you're in.
That's it. You're in the group. You're
in the group. And
yep.
There's always, we reach out to them, and we give them opportunities if they so want them. It's incredible. You're going to have fun. You're going to learn stuff. We have people in the comments tonight who have taken the class, who and they're part of paranormal teams, and they just wanted to see if there's anything more that they can add to their learning of paranormal. And, one of the things that I tell people also is that it helps you, especially if you want to investigate, it helps you to navigate the stuff that you and I wish we knew 15, 17 years ago when we started doing this.
Right. And I would say too, even if you've been investigating or anything else, there is never enough learning that you can do. There is never enough experiences and other people's opinions and thoughts and outlooks. There's never enough that you can experience and grow from. There is always room for growth. So, even if you feel like you've done it before, come learn something new, come hear something different, try something new, because I promise you, we don't do it like anybody else.
And how much have you and I learned from the people taking the class and the experiences that we've all shared together? It's truly, you bring up such a good point. This is not, we're here watching you all. It's like, there's so many times that what we've all experienced together has blown all of us away. There is, we don't get on you unless you refuse to ground yourself. But that's right. I mean, that's
right. Yeah, no, we've grown and we've learned a lot from the people that have taken the class as well. And we've even had to modify the classes because they've asked questions like, oh, we forgot about that, so let's add that in. And, and friendships, the friendships that have been formed from this group are amazing. Some of the best people I've ever met. Yep. Some of these people have become best friends and go off and do their own investigating, road trips, girls' weekends, whatever. I mean, the community that's been built over this, I don't think I could find it anywhere else.
Yeah, very grateful for all the wonderful people that have taken part in given us space to be able to be a part of their lives. So the next class starts March 3rd. For 6 weeks, we're there's time to come in and set up and sign up for class. You need to go to charvinity.com. There it is, classes and events on the left hand side. You want to click on that, and it's super easy to find as the classes starts March 3rd. What are you calling this class again? I always forget what it's called.
Paranormal Dimensions and the Supernatural.
That's right. A few words. But it's there. And then underneath it, well, I don't know if it's underneath it, but March 4th is Ghost Stories and Beyond.
I know.
In Anoka. And we're going to have the one and only Johnny Vortex coming on out to show us how paranormal equipment's made. And this is going to be over at Billy's in Anoka. And this is one of those great learning experiences because we talk about it. We're talking about tonight. We're talking about equipment and stuff. How do you make it? Where do you even start? And Johnny is so approachable and he's so cool about it all that I think you're going to really enjoy that. We're not going to announce April yet. And we're not going to announce May, which can I just say I'm pretty excited for May. I'm excited for April.
My God. If you have not come to Ghost Stories these next 3 months, you have got to come. I'm not going to spill the beans either, but let me tell you, these next 3, March, April, and May, you have got to show up for these ones.
I think because they're all very different. And May may be a once in a lifetime opportunity.
I am blown away at what is happening in May. I'm not going to spill the beans, but mark your calendars for May. If you can come out to Billy's in Anoka on the first Wednesday in May, I promise you will be so happy you did.
Yeah,
because I can't wait.
And that's going to be May 6th.
Yes,
May 6th. So, folks,
that is that is probably a once in a lifetime one, and it is so highly worth it. I highly recommend you get there for this one.
And on top of that, you and I might be working on a few other things that might blow away a lot of people to be able to, partake in some investigation activities.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some things in the works that I am just I don't even have words for what's happening right now. We have been working really, really hard behind the scenes to try to get some things going, and I think we figured it out. I think we've got some really good things in the works. This is going to be a phenomenal year. I mean, I'm already like, when do I sleep?
Right. Well, and there has to be something to be said about everything we have going on. It has pretty much taken the entire segment to get through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things that, and we don't want to turn this into an infomercial, but also at the same time, we know that people listening, they want to know, how can I investigate? How can I take part in metaphysical fairs and meet practitioners? And, the thing about going to your fair on Saturday and Sunday this week is you may be able to find a practitioner that does exactly what you need.
Right.
And you can start working with them beyond the fair.
Right. And that is one of the things that I pride myself for on the fair is I vet everybody that comes, so I know who everybody is. I've had services with all of them. And then also they all do something different. I try really hard to bring a variety in so it's not all the same thing. And it's the things that you might not think about trying. And so that's one reason why coming to the meet and greet is good, because you might get a certificate to go for a service that's really discounted with somebody you never would have thought of going to. And you might end up finding like, wow, this is the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah, absolutely. For those who are just kind of listening to it all and they're like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of good stuff, but you just keep talking and talking and talking. Please remember that you can follow Char over on Facebook at Charvinity. Once again, go to charvinity.com to see the full list of classes and events that she has going on. And then you can go and follow me over at GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun on Facebook. And, we have a lot of the same stuff on there and a lot of different stuff because, we're not even talking about the stuff that Char is doing that's separate from the work that we're doing. So there's just a lot of good stuff. And, that's a great way to follow and not miss out on what's going to be pretty much an absolutely, what they say in the UK, a banging year. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and get our next segment going here. So let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to get back to our conversation. There's a lot of people who wrote some really good things in the comments I do not want to ignore. So we will get to your comments. Keep putting them in there. Do whatever you want. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. I've been talking for a while about how spooky, fun, and fascinating the Minneapolis trolley tours are. But now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis' haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville. Greg Bakun here. It's nice to get out of the Twin Cities and take some travel excursion to some great locations. Minnesota has so much to offer, which is why I love traveling down to Wabasha and staying at the historic Anderson House Hotel. Opened in 1856, this beautiful hotel offers comfortable accommodations, has a delicious restaurant, and even a speakeasy in the basement to unwind with a drink. Located next to the Mississippi River and on Main Street, there is a lot of sightseeing and shopping to do too. To get more information, go to theandersonhousehotel.com. And join me tomorrow on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. We are going to have on, our guest is Lon Strickler, and we're going to be talking about something really interesting, Bigfoot sightings during the Civil War. I think that's a really interesting conversation, and who knew that there was actually quite a lot of sightings, and that soldiers would document it, not knowing what these were, who they were. So we're going to do that. And I thought, to kind of keep the vibe going, Wednesday is going to be a Just Greg episode where we're going to be talking about my trip to Gettysburg. And I'm going to walk through the whole thing about staying in the haunted 1855 or whatever house, and everything else that happened, that transformative week that I was out there. It's an incredible situation, and you got to check it out. Friday, we are going to be doing a Casual Friday. It's going to be a Just Greg Casual Friday because Adam will not be able to join us, and Patrick, we thought Patrick's going to join us, and then he opted out. He suddenly had stuff to do. So thank you for nothing, Patrick, but that's okay. We'll be able to get through. If I can find someone who wants to join in on Friday, we could do that as well. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Please do so, and don't forget, of course, Saturday and Sunday. Please make sure you head out to the Charvinity and Maria Shaw's Mardi Gras Fair. That's this Saturday and Sunday as well. We are talking about bridging the gap between the metaphysical and the paranormal. And I want to get on a soapbox here for a second, if I may, because way back in the first segment, Char, you had made a mention that there is no scientific proof that God exists. It's based on faith, and what we're doing is our faith. And I want to retell a story of a place that I worked that was pretty open to what I did in paranormal. They knew who I was in the paranormal, in terms of that I was an investigator and stuff like that, and they didn't seem freaked out about it and stuff. And I wanted to bring someone in to do a mediumship gallery. And that was actually because we were trying to get a TV show. We wanted to have a camera crew come in and do a gallery with some of the workers, my coworkers, which they all thought it was a fun idea. And I remember bringing it up to someone, and they're bringing it up to the CEO, and the CEO got back to her and said, why don't we wait on doing this? Because it was like in August or something like that. Let's wait till Halloween to do that, because that seems like the time to do that. And I remember being very, I was insulted by it, because this isn't like a show. This isn't like, oh, we're just doing this thing and it's like, smoke and mirrors or anything. This is something that not only means a lot to the medium, but it means everything to the people who are receiving the messages. And I thought, that's a pretty short-sighted way of doing things. And that's what I thought of when you made that comment, because I don't think people always understand this is our faith. This is what we believe in, that we've had so many wonderful interactions with spirit. So when people are like, well, we're looking for the scientific aspect to it, that's fine. But as you had said, we don't need that. We personally are beyond that. We're going to go and just be like, pretty much sit down in rooms like, all right, what do you need? That sort of thing,
Right. Yeah. Anoka just isn't haunted during October.
Exactly. We found that out last Thursday.
Right. We find that out the second Thursday of every month.
We do. And once again, there's a moment, and we talked a little bit about this on Friday, and we didn't put out the name because it's, somebody who's alive, but
right.
a name shows up on a device that you have.
Right.
And someone in the group looks up that person, and it's not a normal name. I mean, it's a very unique name.
No. Yeah.
And they look it up, and there is a person that exists with that name and lives in Anoka.
Yeah. So I mean, how do you explain that? That's what science is that?
Yeah. No, it's pretty incredible. Let me see here. We had a lot of comments that came through that I want to make sure I'm getting through, because I had asked Stacy, and also Leanne, and I'm going to get to your comment, Leanne, about equipment and stuff and where does that fit in. Stacy says, and I agree with this, even though the equipment isn't necessarily scientific, it's validating.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it too is like, and this is a really crappy thing to say. It's like, since when is science, whether or not someone walking through flour is that the end all be all, whether a ghost exists or not? I mean, I know there's more to it than that, but I mean, it's like that to me that's not science. But I feel like I understand that people need to take their own journey with what they do. Any advancements in scientific proof will just further the feeling that I know it is real. But she had something else I want to read too, which I think is important. All science was paranormal until it was proven with science. So why wouldn't we believe in possibilities instead of limiting ourselves to what we already know? And I think I understand where you're going with this. And this is what I always tell people, especially when they say that it's impossible that there's any aliens out there. I always say, remember, there was a time that we thought that the sun revolved around us.
Right.
Yeah, we're not at the edge of, not even close to knowing what's going on in the universe or in other dimensions. Right. So I think having an open mind is just, to me, a smarter, safer way to go personally.
Right. Well, and I mean, in some of its science has proven some things. I mean, like quantum physics, string theory, all those things. There's entanglement. There's all these things that have been proven, which proves energy exists on different planes and different dimensions and different timelines all at the same time. So some of it has been proven that this platform, or whatever you want to call it, that where the energy could exist is already there. It's the energy itself that we're trying to prove through science, which I think is really hard because there's no way to quantify that energy.
No, not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Bruce says, how is this as an explanation? Red is a color. You can hear him say this, can't you?
Yes.
How is this as an explanation? Red is a color that exists for many of us through experience, but someone who is colorblind would need to have it proven. Maybe this is an example of how science is needed for some to prove that others have spiritual experienced.
That's pretty valid, but at the same time, if I said to 10 people the color purple, tell me what you think of, Some people might think of grapes, some people might think of a crayon, some people might think of prints. Their shared experience isn't going to be the same either. So therefore, I can't scientifically prove what purple is to 10 different people if 10 people have a different explanation of what purple is.
Well, and there's different variations of red.
Right.
And I Bruce, please don't think I'm trying to tear, because I think that's really astute. I think it's very good. And I think what this all shows is that there obviously just isn't one be all answer, but I think that's a great way of framing it for sure.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Jennifer says an argument could be made that many things are metaphysical or paranormal until scientifically proven. I think I get where you're going, and this is just my opinion on it, is I feel like that at that point, it doesn't, to a lot of people, it just doesn't exist then. Like, I don't know if it's even categorized, because I wouldn't say that what I call paranormal, and maybe I'm way off on this. When I now think of metaphysical or paranormal, I don't even think of science at all. To me, this is just how it is. This is communication. So I think maybe to a certain degree, but I think a lot of people who don't see it scientifically proven, they just don't acknowledge it at all. What do you think, Char?
No, I agree. I mean, there's several things, and I think this is the thing. So many people do the exact same thing, and they just change it, what they call it, and it's all the same thing. It's whether you're manifesting or you're praying. I mean, it's the same thing. Whether you're doing gratitude or you're saying grace, it's the same thing. It's if I'm talking to grandma in my office or I'm talking to grandma in somebody's house, it's the same thing. I mean, it's all energy. It's all the same thing. And it's just like, we just seem to like put it into different categories for people's comfort levels and what it makes it, what we want it to be. And it's just, to me, it's just weird that we categorize it all. I don't understand it.
I think that's a really good point of the fact that you're right, that the difference between all this is actually very slim.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a whole lot, and what kind of bums me out about that is that should be an opportunity to bring us closer together, not further apart.
Exactly.
And I don't think any of us here would say that with the expectation that we all join together under one idea of what this is. The whole purpose is that we should be able to celebrate our faith the way that we want to. It's our personal choice, our personal journey.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. As Leanne says, it's all about perception. Very much what you just said. And it is. I mean, that's a whole other conversation, I think, on its own, is the idea of like establish religion. And I don't know if religion, establish faith with religion, compared to what, saying that a lot of people in our system here call like source,
right.
That we, it's, and if it all equals the same thing, where the whole purpose is that we should just be good to each other.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem? Right.
No, I agree. And I mean, and how do you measure love? How do you measure that? How do you scientifically prove that? Right. Yes, there's a body chemistry. There's some scientific things that happen when you experience love, but how do you measure a little love versus a lot of love? I mean, like, and somebody's capacity for love. You can't.
Absolutely not. It's so interesting. And I feel like I also want to just make sure I'm pretty clear tonight that I don't always understand the scientific route that people take with this, but once again, that's your journey. That's the whole purpose of what we do here, is that we have to experience this however it feels right for us. And it doesn't always mean, you're, as a paranormal investigator, your whole life doing it, you may always just want to have that scientific backing to it. And others may change their mind and how that is. I mean, I started maybe a little bit more scientific, well, certainly more equipment based, and then moved over to being more metaphysical. That's your choice, and
Right.
I certainly don't think any less of anybody who wants to go that route, because but I also, dare I say, I feel like you're missing out a little bit, because just going off of faith of what I've experienced over the past 15 years, I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Right. And that's just it. I think everybody has a right to do it however they want to do it, with respect, of course, but however you feel like you're getting your answers, or however you feel about it, always have an open mind and be open to growth and learning something new and seeing it in a different way. Because had we not done that, we would not have had the experiences that we have had, you know. And we'll just throw this out one too. Like, and some of the people that are very close to me know that there are certain people on the other side that talk to me. I can't explain that. I don't think I could ever scientifically prove it, but it's undeniable.
Absolutely. And that's the thing that, it's interesting, and, it's just, it makes it fun. And I think that there's a lot of room to continue this conversation. Mm-hmm. Don't you? I mean, there's, and I just want to, first of all, thank everyone in the comments tonight who did a fantastic job with some really stellar points. And I just really want to make sure that I recognize that, because that was great. I really appreciated that. I also want to quickly remind everybody that Char's Fair is this weekend. Charvinity and Maria Shaw's Mardi Gras Fair, the 21st and 22nd. Make sure that you get out there. It's over at the Doubletree by Hilton, 9 to 5 both days. Check out more over at charvinity.com. There's a tab on the side for the fair itself. You do not want to miss it. Whoa, I don't think we solved all the world problems tonight, Char, but I thought it was a really fun show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great conversation. It's always fun to be here. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you very much. And thank you to the audience out there for some great points. Everybody, we'll be back tomorrow talking about Bigfoot sightings during the Civil War. Everyone, have a great night.